Hello and welcome to another video. If you're new around here, my name is Jamie the Cabby, and I've got to say a massive thank you to everybody who subscribed to my channel after the last video that I produced. I really do appreciate your subscription, and thank you everybody for the kind comments. There were so many comments and so many questions that in this video I'm going to try to answer a lot of the questions that you sent me. Obviously there were some negative comments, but I was expecting that. But with that video now approaching 20,000 views, I've got to tell you, I am absolutely blown away. I never expected that I would get that many views or gain that many subscribers from just one video. I really am taken aback. I'm just absolutely blown away, and I can't thank you all enough. Thank you so much. So in this video I'm going to try to answer some of the questions that you posed to me from the last video, and also talk about a few other things. So I've just finished doing a tour today with a couple of really lovely American guests to London, and I'm going to go out to Heathrow Airport and I'm going to film a little bit about the way the airport works and how the system works at the airport. So I hope you like this one.
So we've turned off the Northern Perimeter Road and turned left into Newell Road. And then we've turned left into the Northern Feeder Park. Now, as you can see, the taxis line up in the lanes from right to left. And then as they start to empty from the right-hand lanes, they then fill up again, and it goes around and around. Once you're parked up in the Northern Feeder Park, it's just a matter of a waiting game. As you can see, the taxis on my right hand side are all leaving, and the lanes that were empty on the right have started filling back up again. Now, I was waiting in the Northern Feeder Park for about 20 minutes on this occasion, then we started moving over into the South Feeder Park. Now, sometimes this can be quite a slow process, but as you can see, when we get over into the South Feeder Park, there had been some sort of problem with the barrier, and there's a couple of lanes empty, so it starts moving quite quickly at this point. So we turn left back into Newell Road, and then we turn right to enter the South Feeder Park. As you can see, the taxi in front is a Vito taxi, and he's waiting in case there's a problem at the barrier. Then the taxi in front of him might have to reverse back. The system works on a tag system which is read by readers that are literally up above you. You can see them as I approach the reader there. Just up in front there, they're the readers that read the tag, and as you can see, it's allocated us a group. It doesn't tell us which lane to park in, we just follow the taxi in front into the feeder park, and then we enter the same lane as he does. And they fill up again from right to left, and the process goes in a cycle continuously. As you can see, the lane to the left is empty, and that's because there's obviously been some sort of problem. So the south or the north feeder park will empty fairly quickly as these two lanes fill up. Now, Heathrow's feeder park is probably, or is most definitely, the largest taxi rank in London. Although it's not technically in London, it is London's largest taxi rank for London taxi drivers, black cab drivers. It can hold anywhere between 300 and 500 taxis depending on how close together they've parked. And as you can see just how many taxis are actually in the feeder park now, and you can see the lane over further away from us is now started to go. Now on this occasion we've waited about an hour and 40 minutes in the south feeder park, which is quite good for this time in the afternoon, the time that I actually got there. And as we move forward, we move up to the top of the feeder park, and then we're going to turn left and go round towards the barriers. You can see just how long these lanes are in the south feeder park. And you can see the board up at the front there that indicates what group is going out. Now the groups don't necessarily relate to the lanes that the taxis are parked in. They're just an indication as to where you are in the system. So if you go into the canteen, there is a reader in the canteen as well. Now I haven't filmed anything in the canteen because it's where drivers go to relax and where they go to eat. So it wouldn't really be fair to go and film anything in there. But there is a reader in there where drivers can see what group's going out and how long they've got before they need to return to their cab, get in it and be ready to move. Now as you can see, the Vito in front of me has gone round to the right. There are two readers on the exit. They're not always both working. This is a very old system at Heathrow at the moment. They're talking about updating it. It's been in existence for about 20-25 years now. So as you go into the separate lanes, you need to remember, or I need to remember, which taxi I'm actually behind. And it's the Vito that's to my right that I'm behind. Now they'll start moving up very quickly, and then of course when I get to the barrier it stops. Now we get to the barrier here, and as you can see on the reader it says no demand. And I've cut a bit of the video out here because I was sitting here for about 10 minutes, I think it was. Well, it seemed like 10 minutes, it was probably about 5 minutes actually. And then we get allocated a terminal to go to. Now we've got terminals 2, 3, 4 and 5. 2 and 3 are in the centre of Heathrow, 4 is on the southern side, and 5 is on the west side of the airport. So I'm allowing the Vito that was in front of me to go ahead of me as we pull out of the south feeder park. We're going to turn left back into Newell Road, and then we'll turn right on to the northern perimeter road of Heathrow Airport. So we've turned right onto the northern perimeter road, and then we're going to turn right into what used to be, many years ago, Heathrow, and then go down the slip road and into the approach road into Heathrow through the tunnel, and then we're going to go round past Terminal 2 and around to Terminal 3. Now we have to use the last bit of the approach there, which says buses and taxis only. Otherwise we get charged a set down fee, which we then have to appeal. Now I come on to Terminal 3 and I get two lovely young ladies that want to go to the Hoxton Holborn, which is on High Holborn. So we leave the airport again via what used to be the inner circle of the airport, because it used to be a circular road around the middle, down through the Heathrow Tunnel, comply the roundabout, and then up on the M4 spur road, and then we're going to comply the roundabout, and we're going to leave by the M4 eastbound. So I'm going to try to answer a couple of your questions that you asked in the previous video, and one of the questions was how much did I earn? Right, so I'm going to tell you. It worked out to just over £18 per hour. If you take into account travelling to Heathrow and then getting into London, it was about 8 hours that afternoon, and I took £150, which to some might sound like a lot of money, but when you consider a colleague of mine did a video stating how much it costs to go to work per year, and it was about £17,000 a year. It can cost you £9 an hour to go to work if you work a 5-day week. So it's not a great deal. It wasn't a great afternoon. It could have been worse, but also it could have been a hell of a lot better. So I did about 8 hours and it worked out to just over £18 per hour. This journey is quite a straightforward route, so I've not messed about with it. I've come along the M4 up on the elevated section, then we've come along the Great West Road, Cedars Road, Ellesmere Road, and up to the Hogarth roundabout, around the Hogarth roundabout, and along the Great West Road, and over the Hammersmith flyover, and on to the Talgarth Road, which is where we are now. We're going to go forward onto the West Cromwell Road, and then forward Cromwell Road. Another thing that people have commented on is the fact that I, in the previous video, was not wearing my seatbelt. Well, taxi drivers, London taxi drivers, or taxi drivers I believe all over the country, when working are exempt from wearing their seatbelts. So yeah, I do know, and point taken, safety comes first, and on longer journeys like this, especially on motorways, I should really be wearing my seatbelt. Another question that somebody's asked is, on the local journey system, when we get an hour to get back, how are we timed? And it's all done via the tag system, so the rank agents put in your tag number into the system, give you an hour to get back onto the taxi rank, or a taxi rank of your choosing. So it's basically all done via the tag system, and that's how you time. Now if you're a minute over, you're not allowed to go back on the taxi rank. You have to go back through the system and back through the feeder park. So we've just come the length of the Cromwell Road, up along Brompton Road, and turned right into Knightsbridge, and we've now gone under the underpass and into Piccadilly, where you can see the traffic's building up quite heavily along here. Another system that's in place at Heathrow for taxi drivers and for passengers is the Fares Fare scheme. Now this goes to places like Windsor, where it wouldn't be profitable or economically viable for drivers to take jobs to Windsor. So basically the drivers get up to 90 minutes to get back to a terminal, and it's a fixed fare to places like Windsor, which makes it fairer for the passenger and also fairer for the driver, because it's basically taking the driver in the wrong direction. You know, the thing about driving a taxi in London, a black cab, it's all about luck. Some days your luck's in, some days your luck's not. And on this particular day, I'd had quite a good day, but in the previous video, as I said, that wasn't a very good day when you take into account the expenses and everything else. So we've now come along Piccadilly, around Piccadilly Circus, and we've come up Shaftesbury Avenue. We're going to turn right into High Holborn and then left right into Bloomsbury Way. Now, we've got to go around the houses a little bit to get back to the Hoxton Hotel because of its location. So we go around the Red Lion Square, back into High Holborn, and then we're going to set it down on the left. Now, I hope I've managed to answer some of your questions that you posed in the last video. If you do like the videos, please like, share them, and subscribe. And be lucky. And thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it.